Good morning, noon, or night. Happy Monday. It's June 1st today, which is exciting because June is such a beautiful warm month. Anyway, we're going to get started with some math today. So find your math page, get yourself a quiet spot, settle in, and let's get going.
All right, so let's get started. So you'll notice that your math is a little lighter this week. That is because you are learning some new things. So we're working on decimals, and I wanted to give you lots of time to explore videos online, and I'll be posting them on Teams, and to do some practice and really take your time to understand what we're doing here. So if you notice your math is a little lighter, that is why. I'm also giving you more to do on your own as the year goes on, and I know you can do it. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. So Monday is patterning in algebra. So it says 64 subtract 29 equals A. Now, all you have to do is subtract 29 from 64, and you're going to do this yourself. So you take 64, you take 29 away, it'll tell you what A is. Okay, and this is algebra, which is the same as the mashup math. I'm just getting you a few algebra questions this week because I think it's an important thing to practice. All right, what is the rule for the following pattern? 44, 45, 47, 50, 54, 59, 65. So if you look carefully, you just have to see use the numbers to help you. So from 44 to 55, it's plus 1. From 45 to 47, it's plus 2. From 47 to 50, it's plus 3. From 50 to 54, it's plus 4. Do you see the pattern? The pattern is increase by 1 each time. So you're increasing by 1, then you're increasing by 2, increasing by 3, 4. What would come next? That's right, plus 5, and then plus 6. So increase, we could say start at 44. Increase by 1, then increase by, I'm just trying to think how to word this. Increase by 1 each, increase by 1, then increase by, I won't say increasing increments, but increase by 1 more each time. Okay. All right, number 3, complete the following pattern. So for this one, I'm going to tell you the rule, but I'm going to let you finish it. So 98 to 76, 98 to 76, so 98, 76, 98, 76. Actually, I don't even think I need to say the rule. Listen carefully. It is a repeating pattern. 98, 76, 98, 76. What would come next? Listen carefully. 98, 76, 98, 76. So I'm just going to tell you it is a repeating pattern. Repeats, repeats. All right, write the first 3 numbers for this pattern rule. Start at 704 and add 20. So you know what, guys? You start at 704, add 20, 724, add 20, 744. Now if you watch the video, I would like you to do the next 3 numbers. So what would come after that? Because you're adding 20 each time. You're increasing by 20. Vicky walks 4 kilometers every day. How many kilometers will Vicky walk after 21 days? So to do this, you are going to do 21 times multiplied by 4. Okay, so you can do that. 21 times 4, that is definitely within your reach. We've been practicing these multiplications skills and division skills. You can definitely do 21 times 4. All right, so on to our mashup. Now, I am going to go through the steps of mashup with you on the first one, and then I'm going to point out the key numbers for the second one, but then I want you to try it. You're going to have to use your brain and your you might need to use a multiplication chart if you're not familiar with your facts, but you can totally do this. So remember how I said you start with a one that's kind of like two of the same, because it's the easiest one to know for certain. Is you'll know for certain what the number is. So tennis ball plus tennis ball is 50. Okay, well, 25 plus 25 is 50. So now I know the tennis ball is 25. I can move down to the next one. 25 times what is 75? Okay, well, I think 25 times 3 is 75. Now I know this is 25, 25. So that all together is actually 50. So I know this one's 3. So something times 3 is 48. So then I have to think, okay, 48 divide by 3. Do you have any facts to help you with that? Or are you going to have to figure it out? So what times 3 is 48? Well, it's going to be more than 12 because 12 times 3 is 36. So just count up from that. All right, so I had a little bit of a problem with my last time I explained this. So I'm just going to explain it again. So to figure out something times 3 is 48, now it's going to be a double. I know it can't be 12. And I'm just going to do a little, on a sticky note, I'm just going to go through and write out the different, so I know 12 times 3 is 36. 13 times 3, and I know it's not going to be an odd number because it's a double and it's an even product, but I'm still going to write them out to help me, is 39, and then you count up 3 more, 40, 41, 42. 14 times 3 is 42. 15 times 3 is 45. Sorry, needed a second. And 16 times 3 is 48. So now I know 16 times 3 is 48. I know that 2 8s are 16. So 16, this is 16 altogether. 16 times 3 is 48. Okay, so I know that. And so I know that this one is 8 because it's only one water bottle. 8 plus 25 and 25 is what? So, okay, 25 and 25 is 50. 8 plus 50 is 58. Okay, so now I want you to do the next one. So looking over here, something plus something is 48. I am going to give you the key to help you. Something plus something is 48. All right, well, I know that 24 plus 24 is 48. Now you know the planes are 24. And you know that 2 planes are 48. So now I would like you to try and figure this out. So 24 times what is 48? So you'd have to, if you want to figure that out, you could think, okay, well, how many groups of 24 do I have? Or you could do division if you really wanted. But if you look up here, you have the clues you need to help you. Okay, 24 plus 24 is 48. 24 times something is 48. Well, think of how many groups you have, and then you'll be able to move down and figure out the rest. Okay, and solve. Figure out's the wrong word. Solve for the rest. Now, I am going to flip the page. And we are going to work on the next part. So this is working with decimals and number lines. So we have been working with fractions and number lines, and now we're going to be working with decimals and number lines. So it says, use the number line to complete the task. So here is our number line. I have 0, 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths. Just a reminder, this is how you write a tenth. 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths. So it's the first number is your 10th spot. Again, 5 tenths. Okay. So it says, and then if we were to do this as hundredths, this would be 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 33 hundredths, 44 hundredths, 55 hundredths. So this one here, the first spot after the decimal point is my tenths. And then down here, my second one is my hundredths. And again, I'm giving you a lighter workload this week so that you have time to watch some Watch some videos online that I'm going to post and do the extra practice if you need it, okay? Okay, sorry, I have a little friend outside my window saying good morning. So it says to draw a star at 0.3. So remember, we know our this is going to be 0.1. This is going to be 0.2, and this one's going to be 0.3. So I'm going to draw a star here at 0.3. Okay, that is 0.3. I'm actually going to grab 0.3. I'm going to circle my star so you can really see it. All right, and then it says circle the line that represents 60 over 100. So remember, 60 over 100 is equal to 6 over 10. It's also the same as 0.6 or 0.60. All of these mean the same thing, okay? So 60 over 100 is the same as 6/10, 0.6 or 0.60. Now the zeros kind of go on forever. We just don't write them. Okay, so now that I know that, I can go and I can circle the line that represents 60 over 100. Well, that would be here, 6/10. Draw a blue dot on the spot that represents 25 hundredths. So, okay, I'm going to go 25 hundredths. So it's going to be 0.25 hundredths. Okay, 0.25 means 25 hundredths. So I go to 0.2, halfway between 0.2 and 0.3. I'm going to do a blue dot. Draw a red dot on the spot that represents 88 hundredths. Now I don't have a red pen, but I do have a pink pen, so I'm going to use that. 88 over 100. So again, that's going to be 0.88. Okay, so 0.88. So I know that this is going to be 0.8 right here. And then I go almost to 0.9. Imagine it's a ruler, and I'm going to draw a red dot about right here, because that's almost 0.9, but not quite. Circle the fraction on the number line that is equivalent to 50 hundredths. Okay, so 50 hundredths, 0.50, 50 hundredths. It's 5/10, 50 hundredths. Remember, 5/10 is the same as 50 hundredths is the same as 0.5 is the same as 0.50. All of these are the same thing. So it's asking me to circle the fraction on the number line that is equivalent, means equal to 50 hundredths. So I look at my number line and I go 5/10, and I'm going to circle that in pink. All right. So remember, just getting to know these equivalencies, it really will help. Knowing that 60 hundredths is the same as 6/10 is the same as 0.6 is the same as 0.60. Okay, so fractions, decimals, they all relate to each other. It says now you're going to write the task for the number line below. Suppose that you had to write tasks or clues, like the ones above, to describe where the symbols are on the number line. For example, to describe where the star is, you might say the fraction is equivalent to 30 over 100. So I am going to do a few with you, and then I'm going to do one that's on the line and one that's in between the lines, so you can see how you would do it. So let's label this line just to make it helpful for you. So on the bottom, I'm going to put my numbers, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then one whole. Now I'm going to put our fractions on the top to help you too. Actually, I'm going to put the fractions underneath here. So I've got 1/10, and I'll put 10 hundredths up here so you can see. I hope this doesn't get too confusing, but I really want you to see how these all relate to each other. Okay, and then here I have 2/10 or 20 over 100. Down here I have 3 tenths, or 30 over 100, 30 hundredths. I have 4 tenths for 0.4 is 4 tenths, or 40 hundredths. Okay, 0.5 is 5 tenths, or 50 hundredths. 0.6 is 6 tenths, or 60 hundredths. 0.7 is 7 tenths, or 70 hundredths. Sorry if this is boring, you guys, but it's important. 0.8 is 8 tenths, or 80 hundredths. And 0.9 is 9 tenths, or 90 hundredths. All right, so now we have all of our it's labeled. I'm gonna do the circle and the arrow, and then I'm gonna let you figure out the others. So for the circle, I could say the dot, oh, my pen is having trouble. The dot is located at the spot that represents ten hundredths. Oh, sorry, 20 hundredths. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong spot. Okay, so the dot is located at the spot that represents 20 hundredths. There's the dot. Then I could do the arrow. I could say the arrow is equivalent to 6 tenths, or 65 hundredths, because this is 6 tenths. So it's in between 6 tenths and 7 tenths. Or in between 60 hundredths and 70 hundredths, so it's 6,500. So I'm going to find the arrow. The arrow is equal to, or equivalent to, I'm going to use the fancy math word, equivalent to, so if I look at my arrow right here, it's equivalent to 65 hundredths. Okay, and I could also do, or 0.65 if I wanted, or yeah, 0.65. So now I want you to do the star, the square, and the arrow. So you look at the star and describe where the star is. Now I've given you all the numbers on the number line to help you. I'm going to zoom in so you can really see them. You could pause your screen here and have a look. You could use this little helper to help you. Okay, so you have your, this is what they are in hundredths, this is what they are in decimals, and this is what they are in tenths. You are going to make up the clues for this, okay? So do your best. Just describe where they are. So if my spot was here, I could say it is equivalent to 0.1, and then I could find it. It is equivalent to 40 hundredths. The star is equivalent to 3 tenths, okay? However you want to do it, use the math words that are already here for you. Use the examples above to help you. You can do this. All right, now I'm going to go on to the next page, decimal number match. So this is match the number on the right with its name on the left. All right, this is totally doable. So it is, some of these are whole numbers, some of these are decimal numbers, and we are going to practice putting them together. Now I am going to do the first couple, and then I'm going to ask you to pause the video. But I will go through it so you can get the answers, okay? So I'd like you, once you've got the hang of it, to try it, but then pause the video, try it, and then go through with me and mark it, okay? So you get your feedback right away. So 365, well, I know it's not 356 hundredths. Or sorry, I'm misreading my numbers. 356. And again, I'm actually going to zoom out here, 356, and then it would be the same as F, 356. So I'd write F. If you'd like, you could write a line, but that does get confusing after a while. Okay, the next one is 3.5, so it would be 3 5/10. So I would find 3 5/10 right here, C, and I would write C. The next one is 3.56, or 3 56/100. Oh, right here. Remember, we don't say 3.56, we say 3.56, and that's D. So remember, at this point, I'd like you to pause the video and try it on your own, then press play to get the answers, but I'd like you to try it on your own first. So pause. I hope you paused. Did you pause? All right, I'm gonna go forward. 30.56, so 30 56/100. So I go here, oh, right here, H, and again, I hope you paused and tried this on your own. 3,560, 3,560, that's G. $3.56, so 3.56, and I'd go $3.56. This even says $3. E, I know the dollars because I can see the dollar sign. Next one, 30.6, so I go here, 30 6/10, right? Oh, that's B. See what I mean? It starts to get confusing, so write the letters next to it. 30.65, so 30 65/100, that's I, and 3.6, 3 6/10, and that's A. All right. Oh, you couldn't see that last part. So I hope that that video was helpful. I do want you to work on the decimals and number line on your own. You can send me a picture and let me know how it went. I would love to see your work, and I do want you to practice reading decimals today. So I'll post a couple activities on Teams to help you, give you some ideas on the grade 5 math channel. So check out the grade 5 math channel, and that's on Teams. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I'm just gonna write Teams. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Send me a picture of your work. Let me know how it went, and have a beautiful day.
All right, you did it. That was your math for today. Please send me a message if you have any questions. Today's math was not an assessment. The assessment this week is in the ELA. So check out your ELA and figure out your book talk. So I'm gonna be messaging you about your book talk. The math day, I would love to see if you'd like to share it with me. You can take a picture and send it to me on Teams or Class Dojo. I do take the picture and I put it into a special notebook. So I take it from Teams or Dojo and I put it into a special notebook. And every student that I have has a section of this notebook for every subject that I teach. So I am keeping your work safe, and I'm collecting all the evidence of your learning and keeping it in a special spot. So thank you for sending it in. I really appreciate it. And I will see you again on Wednesday for more math.